Good morning, everybody. Happy July 31st. It is finally time for the big trip, and we are about to head out. If you want to see what today brings, just stay tuned. Morning, everybody. It is Sunday, July 31st, and we are about ready to head off for our road trip. It is 5 o'clock right now, and my son and I have pulled an all-nighter. I think he took about a 30-minute nap somewhere around 10 o'clock last night, but I have yet to go to sleep. So we finally have everything done. Everything is packed up, and we are about ready to head out. So we'll catch you in just a little bit. Baby girl is out back there, and so is the boy. Yeah. So this really is how I am driving for 12 hours. Not fun. First pit stop of the day. Close to the Atlanta airport, they say a plane lands or takes off every minute. Tennessee, and look, both kiddos still out. We're in Chattanooga, right outside of Chattanooga, and interesting fact about this place, I don't remember if I've shared this on the channel or not. It seems like I might have a while back. But anyway, Mont Eagle, that is close right outside of here, Chattanooga, is where my granddaddy was killed not too long before I was born. Actually, probably, I guess it was almost a year before I was born. But he was a truck driver. He rode for Ryder way back in the day, and he was up here on a run, and coming down the mountain there was another young driver. He was like 21 years old, not very experienced, was coming down the mountain behind him and kind of lost control, didn't know how to operate the brakes too good on those big rigs, and ran right into the back of my granddad, caused him to flip the truck. And interesting enough, while my granddad was in the truck, flipped upside down and pinned inside, he couldn't get out, people actually stopped not to check on him, but to actually rob him while he was there. He was fully aware. They knew he was aware. They did nothing to help him. Just very, very interesting story. But anyway, he finally did get rescued, so to speak, and was taken to the hospital, where he later passed away a couple days after that. Fortunately, in that incident, my grandma had a chance to see him again and to tell him her goodbyes and that kind of stuff. But anyway, always think of that story anytime we're in the Chattanooga area. Thought I would just share. Stopping at the Cracker Barrel for some lunch. Gonna meet some friends here, but look, does anybody else's feet swell like this when you travel? Guys can tell we have made it to Kentucky. Not sure how much farther it is to Louisville. How much farther is it from here to Louisville?
2 hours.
About another 2 hours left to go. My. Wow, look how swollen everything is now. unbelievable, you guys. I know that comes from the way that I'm sitting in that car because I can feel it in my back, but my legs, oh my. Thankfully, 2 more hours. So this is the neighborhood where we will be staying this week. A beautiful house. So very nice. I'm going to go out to the curb in a few minutes and show you all. Very, very nice. It came out to be cheaper for us to just rent one big house instead of renting multiple motel rooms because we have other people from the church coming with us as well. So let's go in and check it out. This is the place that we will be calling home for the next week, and I could get rather used to this. The only downside to it is we really actually won't be here very much because we will be so busy during the day, but for the time that we are here, very nice, very nice. So there it is from the front. Isn't it simply gorgeous? So nice. What vacation trip would be complete without a trip to the local Walmart? So we're here to get queso water and other little stuff that we may need around the house for the week. And then next stop, Dollar Tree. Look at that beautiful, first time I've ever seen a clock tower outside of a Walmart. Very nice. All right, let's go and see if Kentucky Dollar Trees are as good as the ones down south. Simply no excuse for a store to be in that bad of condition. Time for a White Castle break. What's the rules, bud?
There's two things you don't touch of a man.
What's that?
A man's woman and a man's hat.
Okay, so we have a running debate. 3 of my family thinks that White Castle is much better. I think Crystal is better because we don't have White Castle where we're from. We only have a Crystal. So you guys let me know down below. Let's take a poll. How many of you vote White Castle? And how many of you vote Crystal? All right, you guys, we are finally back at the house. It's a little after 10, and as you can imagine, we are quite worn out. I tell you, it was a long drive up here, that's for sure. And I didn't get much sleep. Well, I didn't get any sleep last night and just dozed off a few times in the car. So I am quite tired. So I'm going to go ahead and leave it here with you guys and bid you all a good night. There wasn't really a lot to show you on the way because there's only a few major cities: Atlanta, Chattanooga, Nashville, then a couple little small places that we drive through. Pretty much from home to here, it is all flat open, just wide open space. So not a real interesting first day. Tomorrow will definitely be much better for you guys. So hang tight and journey with us this week. I'm going to say goodnight, and I will certainly see you all tomorrow.